Many, many things happen in Dungeons & Dragons. It's a typical hero story, full of tall tales and heroic deeds. But why do I remember some of these moments better than others? Yeah, I saved the town. I've defeated a ton of monsters. I've saved the day and the world multiple times. But these moments just don't stand out to me. One time, I sold a merchant totally not fake invisible fabric. And I'll never forget this moment. So, why? Just the other day, I was sitting at my table, running my fingers across my prepared notes and prepping my DM screen for another ordinary Dungeons & Dragons session. The party was traveling to defeat some bandits outside of town. They arrived at a dank, damp cave with a small stream running through it. Carefully sneaking along the water's edge, they passed the orc bandits and came from behind them, brutally slaughtering the orcs. One by one they fell, the melees in the party blocking the paths, and there was beheading left and right as the weapons were swung. Alara the sorcerer even melted one, critting it with a spell. And then out came their leader, an ogre. Now, Alara is the hardest hitting member in the party. She's had a troubled past, not remembering it completely, but seeing brief flashes of horrible acts that she had committed before her eyes every night as she tranced. In this moment, in this cold, dimly lit, cramped cave, where this large, stupid, clumsy ogre stood, she used the message spell and started talking to it. They talked for a moment before realizing both Alara and the ogre named Ciro both owned and looked up to the same book, How Not to Get Arrested in Neverwinter for Dummies. Alara tells him how stealing is wrong, and he tells Alara that murder is wrong. And they stand there staring at each other with this mutual moment of disbelief over the shared book. She called out to her party, "Don't kill him." This was a unique moment. I had never seen a Dungeons & Dragons party think about the morals of murdering bad guys. This moment wasn't like other moments in Dungeons & Dragons. This moment I'm still thinking about weeks later. And I'm so proud of the new player for having this moment. Now, I looked at this recent moment and many moments prior, and I believe it's all about 5 seconds. The thing about storytelling is normally that the entire story circles around a 5-second thought process or moment. That one moment of realization, change, or revelation that changes your characters in the moment forever. And the bigger the contrast, the more it stands out. Alara had this big contrast shift, going from mass murdering a bunch of orcs to keeping an ogre alive. But not all moments have to be big or grand. Often these moments are funny or cute, like the moment Jester in Critical Role Season 2 is befriending a hag by feeding her a cupcake. The contrasting 5 seconds isn't that this is a kind gesture, but a manipulation. A magical cupcake that is going to force the hag into befriending her. Although this moment is small and doesn't change Jester forever, it had a huge impact, due to the contrast in those 5 seconds and our realization as the audience. Okay, cool, so that's why some of these moments stand out so much more than others. But what do I do with this info? But first, what am I drawing today? This is Glua, a deep gnome who is a tattoo artist specializing in animated tattoos. She's cheery and full of life, enjoying every moment of it. Her artwork, token, and page about her can be found on my Patreon. Link in description. Okay, back to it. So, do I just try to make as many of these moments as I can? And to that, I'm going to say no. These moments are special because there aren't many of them. Stuffing a bunch in just takes away the magic of them. So we should probably keep it to just a few of them. But there are some different things to be aware of depending on if you're the DM or the player. As a player, my goal with this is not to shove and force these moments, but to recognize when one is being offered to me. To see when I have the opportunity to do something that really matters to my character, and to pick and choose which moments to take, which will have the biggest impact. As the DM, I don't try to offer these moments to my players intentionally. as I don't want to try to decide what should or shouldn't be important moments for the players. But when these moments happen, I take note. If it's a small moment like a funny quib, I'll reward it, like Gesture's Cupcake. If it's a big moment like Alara's morality, I'll enable it later in the campaign as well as rewarding it right then and there. Sure, I could make the ogre continue to attack her anyways, but I think it's way bigger and better for the player if you hear them out and listen to what they're saying and make your decision based off of what they are doing. Take the time to enable your players. Don't shut them down. Later, I took the encounter with some zombies and I wrote it to be guards, under the influence of a suggestion spell instead, with it hidden that they are under it, allowing a mystery that adds on to the realization that happened earlier in the campaign. Notice when your players love something, and try to push it farther. And I just think it's always good to be an enabler as a DM. Taking what your players love and multiplying it, even if it changes your plans. Because your plans are never set in stone. But these moments aren't always moments that you will have as a character. Sometimes they are moments that you'll have as a player. I think one of the moments that everyone has is the first time they realize this isn't like a video game. You can do anything you want to do. And sometimes these moments aren't even on things we do. Sometimes it's someone else's action that has a lasting impact. That moment of, whoa, wait, morality about killing things in Dungeons and Dragons? Like, I can't stop thinking about it. And that moment was weeks ago. And it excites me to see what other things my odd group of new D&D players will bring to the table. So tell me about your best moments from your Dungeons and Dragons games. And if you're about to start a campaign, maybe check out this video on what I do in my session 0 and how I set expectations. Have a great day.